the second episode of Podcast with Rose and Dani. We've now left the space station and we have our own mics.
We're back on Earth. We're back in Britain.
We're in Dani's lovely flat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we weren't really sure that this was going to be a standalone podcast when we did the last episode. So this is kind of like the first episode of Voidcast proper.
Yes, and we're going to be really smart.
Yeah.
And have a lot of
We're
interesting...
going to talk about actual things this time.
Yes, we did some prep. We
Yeah.
read some things. We watched something. It'll be great.
Yeah. Yeah, how are you feeling about the pod? You didn't actually want to release the podcast at first. You took like a month to be convinced.
Yeah, it took a month to decide. Well, I was just really scared of the Groyper stuff.
Yeah.
And I really thought like the hate would be from
The Groypers.
the Groypers. And we've had nothing, a sort of suspicious silence.
Because the Groypers don't listen to women
They don't
speaking.
listen. No, they don't listen to women. I think they haven't cottoned on to it yet.
Yeah.
So because they do like to hate on women, that's fun
Yeah,
for them.
but I don't think they're going to listen to 2 hours of women speaking.
No, and I think we hid the Groyper stuff a bit more last time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it did take me a month to be like, let's actually do this.
Yeah.
I think it was a great episode. But
Release the Groyper cut.
Release the Groyper cut. But yeah, it's been great. Response has been good.
Yeah, surprisingly good, I think. Yeah. We went to a party the other night and loads of people came up to us saying they like the podcast.
Big fans.
Yeah.
I'm shocked no one came up to us to
Like kill us.
to yell at us.
Yeah, I've actually gone offline right now because I'm trying to actually write my novel.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll have to reactivate to plug
To
this,
shill
I
the-
guess. Yeah.
Well, I saw you on the Voidcast account.
Yeah. I can't stay off. But now I'm just getting like your algorithm from all the Groyper posts that you've been liking.
Because I forget I'm on the Voidcast account and I'm just like liking Nick Fuentes stuff.
Yeah.
And then like I'll like our friends'
Yeah.
tweets and then I'm like unliking them like from my own account.
What have we been up to?
A reading series.
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing.
Yeah, I launched my reading series at Verderon, which was, it's like the first in-person event that I've run in years. Someone made fun of me for the way I say years.
Yeah, here as well.
Yeah.
Always say here.
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 I think I've pretty much lost my Welsh accent except for when I say year or here or years, or when I say tooth or like toothpaste.
Yeah.
And people always pick up on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, my mum has a really thick Valleys accent, so like it could be a lot worse. Yeah.
You should do that. You should like descend into more and more Welsh as we go on.
Yeah. If I get angry, it does come out.
Yeah. Well, when I get drunk, sometimes people start either thinking I'm like South African, or they start hearing because I'll start like saying vodka, like that, and then it's like it comes out
because you're actually an immigrant.
Because I'm actually an immigrant living in the UK.
Do you feel British?
Yeah, I think because I've been here for such a long time, like most of my childhood, I'm definitely like there's like a concept of like being a 1.5er.
Yeah.
Which I do feel like, because I do still feel like stuck between two worlds. I think because my upbringing was so rural in where I'm from, that I have like a real connection to like the English countryside, especially like feel very drawn to it. And I think, some of the stuff happening now to English countryside, I'm really, that riles me up much more than like things happening in London.
How old were you when you moved?
Around like age 10, like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're actually like an immigrant.
Yeah, I'm full on immigrant. I shouldn't be here.
So what are British values to you?
Cost of living.
And what do you think about these figures? Alfred the Great. I can't even remember who the other ones were. Lord Nelson.
Yeah.
To be honest, I didn't know all of them.
I didn't know Alfred the Great, and both you and my husband were very angry at me.
Yeah, I feel like you should know Alfred the Great because we watched the GB News UK documentary about like the UK, like with the Y, and then we also watched the Navarra response where Michael Walker talks about not knowing who Alfred the Great is despite doing PPE at Oxford, which I think is actually embarrassing. You should be embarrassed to admit that.
Yeah. Don't they have some kind of historical, like, aren't you meant to do some basic history if you do PPE?
Actually, the politics component really doesn't have any. It's like modern constitutional history.
Well, I think that's the thing. I think, like, because I have had most of my schooling here, including like primary school. I've never had that level of English history like taught to me. So I think that's kind of a discourse on Twitter about like we don't have that sort of patriotic history. Like it kind of went from the Romans and then like World War I, World War II. And then you kind of go into GCSE and A-level, which is kind of
we don't do like early medieval stuff at all, really. Sometimes you can do it in sixth form, but you don't get that sort of broad sweep of like how the English state or the English nation formed.
No, and the stuff you do get is like the Tudors, which I thought was very like. I think I also find British history a little bit, and not because I'm an immigrant, but like a bit boring. Like I do think a lot of it is, I think, because it's such a polite culture. And like, the Tudors was like the most exciting thing because he like killed his wives and divorced, and you know he kind of did something that was like kind of red-blooded and like a bit more exciting. But I think other than that, like,
we don't do the Civil War.
No,
we don't do like Restoration.
Not in state schools where I was.
Glorious Revolution, all that stuff, which is like actually really important to like the formation of the English state as we know it today.
Yeah.
I don't think I knew who Alfred the Great was before I went to uni. And I was doing a history degree just because I'd never done any early medieval stuff.
No, and that is part of like, you know, the Michael Gove changes that he wanted to make it to a curriculum, if he did make it to a curriculum.
Yeah, I mean, it's still very bitty. Like when I was teaching history, like you do some of that in year 7. And that was actually really fun because year 7s are like that age where they're actually really interested.
Yeah.
And I was teaching them about like Athelred and like the Agnus Dei coins, and like they're actually surprisingly receptive.
Yeah.
But then you just don't cover it again, so you're only teaching it to 11-year-olds.
Yeah, and they are like, it has to be basic at that level. So and it like cartoonish. Like I thought the Tudor stuff was very cartoonish, like very.
Yeah, it's also very out of date. Like we were teaching them stuff which is just like not true because it's based on history that was written like 50 years ago, and it's just not like. Hasn't kept up with developments in historiography, which, I mean, you can't really expect that much of, like, history teachers because they have a really full-on job anyway. But I would get really frustrated because I was teaching stuff which, like, 'cause I was in a school with, like, a very, like, knowledge-heavy curriculum, which is kind of based on the Michael Gove thing. It's, like, knowledge-rich. And you just teach them, like, a lot of content. But when that content is kind of wrong and, like, misleading, and you're not really teaching them to think historically, you're not really teaching them how to, like, use historical sources or to think about, like, how history is actually written, then it feels a bit pointless.
Yeah, and I don't know how many people like history. Like, I always loved history, so I always sort of persevered with it. But I think, because it's taught quite badly, it kind of only does, to a point, get interesting when you start doing like not meta history, but like the study of history to a point, like with the And I think
we thought that was a bit unfair, like going around asking random people on the street if they know who Alfred the Great is. Like,
I mean, a lot of people just wouldn't know, and I think that with that the British values thing, I found really like. Let's say he did know the British values, which I don't. Like, do you know the British values?
I mean, only through, like, Prevent Duty.
Right.
Like, literally, like...
Wasn't it the Tony Blair stuff at, like, 5 hands?
Yeah, it's, like, democracy, tolerance, like, rule of law, which, like, they're not British values. They're, like... That's just, like, Prevent Duty propaganda.
Yeah, it's, like, Blair's values from, like, 2000.
Like, nobody thinks, oh, I'm British because I believe in democracy.
It doesn't, the British, to the point where on my like third rewatch of a documentary of that specific clip, I was like, he's actually right that British values is cost of living. Because it's like, that's all anyone can actually talk about that isn't either like divisive, like, because everyone just constantly talks about like the housing crisis, the NHS, like cost of living, like we are getting taxed, like that seems to be like the only thing that actually everyone can kind of bond over.
On the other hand, you have all that like twee, like, you know, just British thing stuff where it's like talking about the weather and queuing and being polite, and having a cup of tea.
It's like, that's not...
Paddington.
A bear that you have beef
I hate that fucking bear. I hate that fucking bear so much. Send him back.
You had a real thing with that bear.
Yeah, I had Edward Habsburg accusing me of blasphemy because of that bear.
I never got that. Like,
do you remember when those two British Army guys were done for like removing that statue of Paddington from the bench?
Oh, yeah.
And it was really funny because they just left this like outline of Paddington on the bench, and it was like, and they had this photo of the Paddington statue like in the police car, like after they'd arrested them. I mean, it's just really funny. And then the judge's comments were like, you haven't only like broken the law, but you've disrespected everything Paddington stands for.
Cartoon bear.
Yeah. So I didn't even make the image. Adam made it. And it was like an image of like Paddington on the cross, which is like obviously satirical about how, you know, he's this like national icon who you can't like criticize, and it's like, you know, it's considered like blasphemous and almost illegal to like deface the bear, the national bear.
Yeah. It was so obviously satirical, like so obviously.
Yeah.
But it kind of goes into that thing of like when women make jokes that like men can't even conceive.
I think it was just like people who weren't following the British news cycle just like didn't get it.
Right.
And they thought I was making like a blasphemous joke about Christ.
Just about there.
So that's why I have beef with the Habsburg dynasty.
They're not going to fund us. They're not going to fund us at this point.
The Habsburgs are definitely not going to fund us.
You have to do a public apology to Paddington. You have to go to
like
Paddington.
Self-flagellate in front of the Paddington mural in Waterloo.
Oh God, he has so many murals because there's one in Paddington as well.
Wow.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's like, why... Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is the thing, like, that's, like, what Britishness is now, and, like, yeah, queuing and being polite, and it's like, you're being polite while your country is being destroyed.
I just think it's so... I mean, obviously I hate the twee thing as an aesthetic anyway, but it just feels like... It feels like you're just ignoring everything that's, like, actually good about being British, and, like, you know, like, the Mytho Britannia account...
Yeah. Is that the one that posts like countryside stuff?
Yeah, like, and that sort of like old enchanted, like sceptred isle kind of imagery, and you know, the like the oak trees and the springs and the wells, and this like kind of deep magic, kind of matter of Britain stuff, which like that is to me what being British is about. It's about like that connection with landscape and folklore. Yeah, I mean, also with that Navarro response, it's kind of like when they're trying to talk about the UK, the response is like, it's not happening. Yeah. It's just like to ignore it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think, yeah, we had a lot of issues with the documentary, with the UK GB News documentary. But clearly it was trying to describe a real phenomenon, which is like, you know, the Mytho UK account. Like it's kind of hard to define because it's such an aesthetic thing. But it's lots of like photos of like vape shops and like delivery drivers, Turkish barbers, like roadmen. And I think it's meant to be this like idea of a new culture, particularly sort of post Boris wave, like post 2020 culture, where you have people coming and integrating into something which is not British, which is like UK, which comes out of this fusion of like new immigrant cultures, and doesn't really have any connection with anything that came before. And I think the GB News UK documentary kind of missed that because they focused on like Black British people who have been here since like the 50s. Yeah. And actually, you know, came from Commonwealth countries, already spoke English, already had like a connection with British culture, and actually like a real appreciation and a sense of loyalty to Britain. And I think that is like qualitatively different to the kind of waves of immigration we've had since 2020, and since Blair maybe as well, where there really is no kind of fusion of cultures where there's sort of this parallel society.
Yeah, no, I think the documentary, there was the street interviews I found upsetting. Like, I thought they were kind of, it seemed, to be honest, the whole documentary, and I understand, I like the Mytho UK account. I've been taking pictures of weird things that make me feel weird across, London or wherever for like years.
Yeah.
And it felt like, to me, the Mytho UK account was also not like, it'll be like a market stall of like Lebanese food or something. And I'm like, I don't think that's, like, to me, it felt more like a degradation of culture, a sort of attempt at another culture, but it doesn't really quite work. And like for me, like the UK thing is like the Creams Cafe, like which is like very popular now. Like that seems like this like weird compromise that people have between cultures. So like Whitechapel, for example, going there is like I'm not like it doesn't feel like UK. It just feels like a different country.
Yeah.
Which I didn't think that's what the account was. And then I think the translation from the Twitter, which was I think really interesting, and there were points like there's things like there'll be like a homeless man sleeping outside an American candy shop. So that's the stuff that I kind of think is like UK. Like there's something sort of, I feel like it comments on like poverty, it comments on this sort of destruction, but I felt like the documentary in its translation from Twitter to like this mainstream media thing kind of just focused in on like, oh, just look at some foreign people, like non-white people. And I thought it lost a lot of, and I thought like James Orr was kind of underused, like underutilized. David Starkey was in it kind of talking about crime.
It's just badly made, like it wasn't convincing. And I think it rightfully got a lot of blowback about like interviewing that black guy who like was clearly like well-meaning, but like a bit slow.
I mean, honestly, if I was interviewed for British Vogue, I mean...
it just felt really mean.
It felt mean,
and I think people get really turned off by that.
Yeah.
And I think watching that Navarro response where it's just like, oh, this isn't happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like...
Yeah.
I think that's such a common, like, leftist response to, like, just, like, zone out and just not notice, like, the kind of culture that's developing, which is new, and like so much writing, so much art about London just like does not engage with the sort of aesthetic and cultural changes of the last 5 years.
Yeah. We've been trying to watch the Lena Dunham.
Yeah, I tried to watch the first. I literally couldn't. It's like unwatchable. It's so bad.
The thing about the fat.
I just can't do it.
I
hate Americans. Fat Americans.
But in that thing, like the kind of a conceit of the show is that she falls in love with an England that is like this period drama, and then she moves to London, and it's like she's on an estate. But what's so weird is that they kind of comment on this degradation of the society here, but without any of the like cultural, essentially the racial angle. Like even her taxi driver that takes her to her home is like a Cockney, like an East End Cockney.
Yeah.
And it's like they're still around. There's still some of them around, but like for the most part, your taxi drivers.
Yeah, I mean this image of London is still like sort of early 2000s rom-com. It's like Bridget Jones's London.
Yes, yeah.
And like the cultural imaginary has not moved past that. And like it just cannot reflect what London looks like now.
Well, and Lena Dunham can't do it because of her politics, like to a point.
Yeah.
She barely did it with girls. Because even then, like if it's I think she just can't. It is a bit too much, you know. It would be, if she did do it, it would be really like it would be brave.
Like, it's such a cop out. It's such like an artistic cop out. To just ignore what you're seeing around you and make art that reflects what Britain looked like 10 or 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, that was what was interesting about Alex's story at the Verderon reading, because I think it did have some like sort of UK signifiers, and that really stood out because it's been so long. Well, I just never read books or stories that like have that sort of aesthetic.
Yeah.
And I think people just walk around with this kind of cognitive dissonance where it's like you're commuting to work every day, you're seeing the stuff, like you cannot avoid it, like the way London is built, like with neighborhoods, like so sort of. Like it's not like you have a posh area and a rough area. It's like everything is sort of really intertwined, and you can't avoid it. So you just have to sort of cover your eyes and pretend it's not real. you know that thing where it's like it's not happening, and then it's like, oh, it's happening, but it's good.
It's good, yeah.
People are sort of still stuck in it's not happening.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the documentary was just, I really expected more from it. I think that weirdly on Twitter it's more nuanced than that.
Yeah.
And I get that it's for a mainstream audience. It's probably for an audience of like boomers, and it's like it's trying to do this thing where it starts a new vocabulary, like it's got a new term.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like you need a soft introduction to that.
But it doesn't really explain what the UK is.
No.
Or it doesn't make any attempt to analyze like how it came about.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, even just talking about like the Boris wave and like the change in immigration post Brexit, you know, the fact that it went up to like over 1 million per year, and coming from very different countries to previously, like that's been a huge shift.
Yeah.
And I mean, it doesn't mention that, doesn't sort of analyze that in any way. And I think people kind of miss that when we talk about like immigration in these very general terms. It's like the immigration we've had since 2020 is like so different, both in terms of numbers and like country of origin, than previously.
And we have a very hostile state ideology that means we can't talk about it. Like the protests happening now, it's like people getting arrested, and like it's like literally, so they're actually migrating into a culture that there's no patriotism, there's no sense of integration. Like to say that you need to integrate is like the worst thing you can say, like, because why would you? And then again, it's like that. Yeah, I thought because I've been writing something on like non-places and reading this guy called Mark Auger. So he wrote a book called Non-Places, which again, when I was like looking at the UK Twitter account, I thought that was kind of what was being got at, like the sort of idea of like a nothingness, a nothing space. And in some ways, at least the ethnic communities are kind of doing like a lot of East End pubs got shut down, and they get converted to like Islamic community centers, sometimes mosques, which is bad. But it's like a lot of East End people moved out, and there's a lot of emptiness. And even in like small towns where there isn't this migration like yet, those high streets are dead. Like the shops closed, like no one's there. And it's like we need to look at that. We need to look at that, like, because we don't have competition of culture. We have nothing. Yeah. And then you have, fair enough, like you move in with your like community, like why, and that's where you live. Like, yeah. At least a sort of, it's, you know, a form of colonization, but it's like at least there is some kind of aliveness there. There's some kind of vital culture that's being transplanted. Obviously, politically, you can disagree. Again, in the translation, I just feel like it just turned into like brown people. Like, yeah. And there was no discussion. There was no discussion on the philosophy of placehood. Yeah. Like,
I've been thinking a lot about like that distinction between like place and space.
Yes.
And it's like so many people talk about like creating spaces and like sort of pop-up spaces, and like space has this really transient connotation, whereas it's like something you make yourselves. Yeah. It's like, oh, we're making a space, we're making a safe space. Like it's like something you actually like construct. Yeah. Like as an individual or with a group of people, whereas place is sort of fixed, and it has this like temporal continuity. Yeah. Like it exists before you and after you. And you have a relationship with it, which is not entirely engineered by yourself or by a sort of corporation that's providing it for you. Yes. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I found that like moving back to North London, which is like where I went to sixth form, I feel much more at home. It's like I have much more connection with like an actual place, which feels like mine. Whereas living like when I lived in Lewisham or when I lived in Walthamstow, like it was like I could be living anywhere. Like I was just going home to a house and had like no connection with the neighborhood around me.
Yeah, and why would you be like?
Yeah, which is true for like loads of people who like move into London.
Yes.
Like after uni or whatever.
Yeah, and there's that thing he kind of he talks about. Auger talks about in his book about the city world. So as opposed to the world city, you have these city worlds where the city has its own like logic and its own way of behaving, and it will integrate all these like cultures into the city world. Yeah. So it'll have all these like diverse cultures that we have in London. And I've seen this on the UK account where it's like someone will put, you know, one of their pictures will be like, come and feel like you're in Lagos in Nigeria. You know, like this is a place in London where you can feel like you're in Nigeria, and it has all these spots, but obviously they're not Nigeria. Like, you know, like there's still, so it's like the city becomes its own world, and then the more you like I've gone off travel a little bit because I feel like everywhere I go to the same place, like, and everywhere has their like Chinatown, or they have, you know, like, and it's like I'm just at the same restaurant everywhere, and unless you're traveling like hardcore, like you're Cuba traveling.
Yeah, Cuba, I did not feel like I could be anywhere. Cuba was definitely Cuba.
That was a place.
That's a place. That's I mean, say what you want about socialism, but it's kept a place.
Yeah. It's like petrified. Like the things, the pictures you sent of like the colonial buildings, like really like shook me. Like,
no, it's super interesting because like everything good in Havana is like pre-revolution.
Yeah.
Like all the beautiful buildings, all the like beautiful classic cars. They're all from like America in the 50s, and the buildings are all like colonial. Or,
and the vintage. Yeah. The cars really got me.
Yeah, and they just haven't really produced anything. Since.
But yeah, I don't know how you feel about travel, because I think like obviously you travel a lot. And I do think
I'm probably going to stop.
Please do. Please stop.
Sorry,
stop traveling.
I caused a lot of stress for my friends while I was in Cuba, because I sort of got stranded, and then they needed to bail me out and get me home. Yeah.
And it does feel like, to a point, like if you want to go to the Caribbean, you can just go to somewhere in London.
Did you say Caribbean?
Yeah. What did you?
Caribbean?
Caribbean?
Yeah.
Is that the British way?
I feel like it is. I think Caribbean is American.
I'm so foreign.
Yeah, they're from like Caribbean rhythms.
I do not listen to that show. Fuck that show.
I mean, I tried to go on like the cigar subreddit, because I was trying to find out if my cigars were fake that I got in Cuba. They're definitely fake, but they are real Cuban cigars in that they're from Cuba.
Yeah, I don't see how are they fake. They don't have tobacco in it. Like, what's the problem?
I mean they're actual. They are cigars. They're just not the official cigars. But yeah, I was trying to do, because they're very convincing. Fakes. And they're probably smokable. They're probably fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just going to give them to Bovril.
Just see what if he dies from them.
Yeah.
I don't really understand what the difference between a fake cigar, other than like,
but I tried to go on the subreddit, and it wanted my ID. And I was like, I'm not putting my ID on my Reddit account, like, that I don't even use. So now whenever I try and go on any of the like banned subreddits, it just comes up with like a blank screen. Okay. I need to get a VPN or something. Yeah,
or like apparently people have been like putting up like a picture of Keir Starmer as their like verification ID. Yeah. You should put one with a cigar in your mouth.
Yeah.
Just be like,
just put the Bovril profile picture.
Yeah. I feel like hundreds of people have used this already. They banned the cider subreddit, which...
Really?
Yeah.
God.
Which I go on all the time to just check in on the news. Check in on the cider news. The updates from the cider world.
I used to really like the Breton cider, like the fancy Breton one.
Oh, I don't know.
It's really nice. I was like upmarket cider.
Okay.
So I stopped being able to drink Strongbow, and I like blacked out when I was a teenager.
That's fair. That was me on a Lambrini. Yeah. Which turns out is perry, which turns out is a form of cider. Yeah. But I used to drink
cider.
They have inches now as well.
I don't know.
It's like another cider. But it's very West Country. It feels very wholesome to drink it, even from a can like this. And it's just the idea of not being able to go on the subreddit. I think someone like made a joke on Twitter that's like, you can go on the R cider subreddit if you also go on the R food subreddit, because technically if you're 14 you can have cider with food.
It's just so crazy. I mean, they're letting 16-year-olds vote, but you need to verify that you're 18 to use Spotify. Like,
which is already controlled. It's already controlled. Like, you can't put like anything like super inflammatory on there. So I'm a bit worried about our ability to have this podcast. So like both Spotify, Twitter, I'm a bit scared of like the Online Safety Act. And
it's not even fully rolled out yet. Like,
right.
They're gonna roll out more of it, which will give Ofcom like duties to like investigate any like online brands and companies.
Yeah.
And like fine them if they're not compliant.
It's
such a retarded decision. It's like who, like, we already have like the highest electricity cost in the world.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
What kind of tech company is gonna like want to
Mm.
base themselves in Britain?
No one. And then like all the stuff of like, you know, that as that guy, is it Gary Stevenson? He's like the leftist, like kind of he's like a millionaire. He made money.
Oh, The
from
Economist.
Yeah, and he keeps talking about taxing the rich.
Yeah,
and it's like, those bitches have left. Like, they've gone to Dubai.
Yeah,
They've gone
exactly.
And they are the, not to be like a super pro-capitalist, but I wish you've had since Cuba, but like, they do stuff for this country, and to have them not be, they are not the problem. Like,
it's like we don't have industry. Like, all we have is finance.
Yeah.
And like ideally tech, but like if we miss out on the tech boat, then we're just going to be Cuba. We're just going to
in the future, with none of the culture, with none of like the beautiful cars or the buildings will have like vape shops.
There's gonna be people driving around like repurposed Morris Minors.
Yeah.
Running on like chip fat. Yeah, my dad used to run his bus on chip fat, and it smelled disgusting.
Oh my god, that's like do you remember Tracy Baker?
Yeah,
Tracy Beaker.
Yeah,
Beaker.
They
always had like in her books. They always had chip butties, and I never knew what that was, but I was always like really obsessed with.
How did you not know what a chip butty was?
I grew up in the South. I don't know if that's something.
Do you not have chip butties? Chip buns.
Yes. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Oh no, yeah, right, yeah. Chip. And that's the old UK. That's the old British ways.
Now you can't even get a chip butty. No, it's just
because of woke.
Halal. Nowadays, now you can only get kebab.
Nowadays, if you get a chip butty, they put you in prison.
Yeah, $8 halal.
$8. That's just the name, just $8 halal. We've been Twitter's been interesting. I think so. We were reading this article that came up on Twitter.
Yeah.
Bonnie Blue.
Yeah.
When the article first came up on my like timeline, which is literally called "On Bonnie Blue and Roger Scruton," I was like, I literally, because I've such an aversion to clickbait.
Rolling in his grave right now.
Literally, I had such an aversion to it. I was like, I will not click on this. Like, I'm not going to bow down to this like clear clickbait that's happening here. But then you said we should probably like read it, see like what's actually inside.
I feel like Bonnie Blue is kind of an interesting topic because she's so like British. I feel like that's something uniquely British.
It's like a chip butty, like, in human form.
Yeah,
literally.
And I saw Catherine D tweeting about her being like demonic, which I've seen quite a lot. And I'm kind of interested in this question about whether she's like sort of some kind of unique evil, like whether she's like a sociopath or something, which I think that article sort of frames her as, or if she's just like British woman taken to extremes.
Yeah, we were kind of debating that on WhatsApp, or we were going to say like we're going to debate it because I think so. Yeah, obviously I'm not a British woman, unlike yourself. But there was this thing that like Louise Perry did an article where she claimed that 4% of British women have an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
And then some guys online on Twitter looked into it. And they basically, the data comes from this random dodgy database that's only got like 25,000 names on it. And it's kind of connected to like a knockoff OnlyFans website.
Right.
And that's literally where they got the data from. And they were like debunking it live on Twitter. Right. They've had no response from like Louise Perry or I can't remember which publication she published it in.
Spectator?
Was this,
yeah, it was the cover. It was like the Porn Britannia cover story.
And it feels like this like weird, it's so weird again, like after the grooming gang stuff where it was working class British girls, northern girls. Same with both Bonnie Blue and Lily Phillips, I think are. Oh, is it Lily?
They're not northern, they're from the Midlands.
From the Midlands, okay. Which is also where a lot of...
Which is a deeply evil place. It's like a very cursed, like, hinterland.
Yeah, I've never enjoyed my time in the Midlands.
No, I think they're from pretty close to each other as well.
Right. Well, they look British, like British physiognomy, like to a T.
Like classic, like British slag.
Yeah, British slags, yeah. And actually Bonnie Blue, one of the things that I watched of her was like, she was like, British girls are sluts. It's just a lot of them are really stupid and they don't know how to like be good sluts. And I'm just a really good slut. And I just found it very like, I really like the guys that debunk that like specific story on Twitter because I think it's part of his like demoralization campaign.
Yeah.
And there was this guy on, do you remember this guy who was filming girls on nights out in the north? Turns out, so first of all, he was a Muslim guy that was doing it. He was like filming them. And there was a connection between that content and a lot of the trafficking into the UK from South Asian countries. And it was kind of used as content to be like, this is what it's like in Britain.
Yeah.
And there's definitely that aspect to it. And this like proliferation of people like Lily Phillips and Bonnie Blue now feels like it's part of that. And I don't know if I'm like being conspiracy brained or like, you know, really the thing with Catherine D, I think I agree with Catherine D. I think she's demonic. Like I actually think she is part of something satanic because I've watched a few things with her and she does seem she's completely
she's very dead-eyed.
Yeah, so dead-eyed, like evil, like my thing against blue eyes of like, like really staring into you. And she never, so we read in the article, there was a bit where it was interesting, like Kathleen Stock writing about, someone asked her, like, do you see yourself as an artist? And saying like they want to compare her to, what's her face, Marina Abramovich, you know, that's sort of demonic. Yeah. And then like Bonnie Blue replies like, have you just seen the thing you've seen? Like, obviously not. Like,
yeah,
she just
she's like,
shuts it.
that's far too intellectual a question to ask me.
Yeah. Like she degrades herself like that. And yeah.
I just think she's a businesswoman though. Like, I mean, she's developed a brand, like a business model which trades on hate.
Yes.
Like, I think she talks about that.
She does,
openly.
a lot.
Like the fact that she's like being deliberately provocative to get people to hate her because she knows that the more women talk about hating her, the more they are like sons and husbands will like log in to see her and then pay for it. Yeah. Which is just kind of what we're all doing. Like we all sort of run on this business model where it's like the more hate you get, the more engagement you get. And like there's an incentive to be as hated as possible.
Yeah. Well, we had that even with the podcast where like we kind of knew before even releasing that we're gonna get hate. Yeah. And a lot of podcasts do get big. A lot of everyone gets big, like to a point like your like brand, like your own stuff got big from that. And it is very counterintuitive. It feels psychopathic. Like it feels
Yeah, it is. And like you have to keep doing stunts. Like you have to keep doing like engagement bait tweets that are going to get you like millions of views.
Right.
You always have to be doing some kind of bit.
Yeah, and you have to like escalate. Yeah. And that's what she's doing.
Which
she's
is what she's done,
she's
like the 1,000 Men thing. Like, I don't know. I feel like she's not this kind of uniquely evil, demonic figure. She's just taken the economic logic of like the attention economy. Yeah. To its extreme.
That's what I mean. Kathleen kind of talks about it when she tries to bring in scruton into the equation, and she basically talks about it's almost like a Kantian argument she's making, where she's like, you know, was she bad at 10 men? Was she bad at 50? Where was the line where it became the bad thing? Was it filming herself?
50's low, right?
50's low, right?
50's not high. What?
I don't know. I'm a virgin. So I'm a married virgin. So I don't know about all that.
But I think like the attention economy, it is kind of evil. Like it warps you. Yeah. Like it makes you, you know, the worst version of yourself. Yeah. And you see that a lot with like the slop posters who, you know, used to be like good posters and now they're just like churning out this like crap every day. Yeah. For like Elon bucks. Yeah. And it just like degrades us to our most base form. Yeah. And like, you know, that like BAP tweet where it's like, oh, you should just do prostitution, it's more honest. Right. I kind of feel like that. Like I feel like, you know, at least she's honest about what she's doing. Like loads of us are doing kind of similar thing and pretending that we're above it. Yeah. The one thing that I would like, so I do think like porn is like evil. The thing that I really don't like is that she does this thing where she does it with normal people. So, and especially like the thing of like she focuses on barely legal boys, so like 18-year-old boys. Yes, queen. Go on. It's like, was it women and
women in men-dominated fields. But there's something about like infecting the culture, like infecting these guys. Because to a point, like if she was just making like content with another probably crazy person, as like a lot of porn people are, if she was doing that content, it's like, yeah, you're causing damage, and you are causing damage to the people who watch porn, sure. But the way that she promotes herself of like, I want to have sex with normal men, I want to have sex with your husbands, with your sons, like all that stuff. And like, I think a lot of her like language is based on like consent, and she's like, these boys have consented, and it's like they're 18-year-old boys, they're horny, like that's the horniest a man will ever be in his life at 18 years old. So the idea of having a sex with a porn star at that age is like insane. You know?
That's so sad.
What?
Because for women, it's the opposite. Like you get more horny.
Well, that's the thing. The ideal. Did you see that thing on Twitter? It's like the ideal, like 30-year-old woman with an 18-year-old boy.
Yeah.
Literally that. But I think it's the fact that she's like doing literally like thousands of boys, and it's like, imagine if you were like a girl and you got a boyfriend like 22 or whatever, you were both 22, and then you found out a few years ago he slept with Bonnie Blue on camera, and like he essentially made porn of himself, and now that's the. And that is the provocative thing she's doing. She knows what she's doing. She's definitely, she's a pornographer. Like she's not, the thing you said, she's a businesswoman. She's clearly like above average, above average intelligence. She is like as bad as the people who have like own OnlyFans or own those sites, like where they propagate it, where they're actually, like, I feel like for most porn actresses are like drug addled, come from broken homes, like, they are like, to me they're victims. Like I have a like rad femme whatever thing, but she seems actively that she's going out and she's trying to cause as much like chaos and destruction in society. And she, again, it's for hate, it's for attention, it's for that. But it's like at a certain point, it's like, should you just be illegal? Like, should she just be like, and they're trying to ban porn with the Online Safety Act, but it's like, she's out there, she's getting pieces in Unheard, and I think she was in the Times, I can't remember, like some really big publications, and she's getting so much attention
to the point, like Channel 4 documentary,
like so many things done to promote her, and it's because it's exciting, because it's the attention, because and it gets to a point where it's like, I think you might just be, and Kathleen kind of talks about it. There's a lot in the Heretics interview than Andrew Gold. Most of the interview, like half of it at least, is spent on trying to find her motives. Like, did she have a bad childhood? Did she, you know, like something must have happened to you for you to be like this. And it gets to a point where it's like, does it even matter? Like, what's happened to her? Like, if she did have a bad childhood, would that be okay?
Yeah.
Like, is that like, are we like, and I think there's also that thing of treating women, even as debased and, you know, as she is, on this like level of like pedestal, on this level of like, oh, poor, like she must be. And if you look at the Heretics interviews, like he literally just goes on and on. Like there's a point where it's quite an interesting point. You realize she can't have kids without IVF. And even I, like, as much as I hate her and as much as I see through that sort of like childhood trauma, whatever facade, I was like, oh, she can't have kids. That must explain it. It's like, loads of people can't have kids. Like, yeah.
I mean, she does seem like kind of psychopathic. Like, I think I saw a video of like Lily Phillips like crying after one of the stunts, and like that seemed really sad and like very human. But like the stuff I've seen from Bonnie Blue, it's like she's completely dead to it. Like it doesn't faze her at all, which is like a really sort of inhuman kind of reaction.
I think that's it. It just feels like she's inhuman, and that's why it's so interesting. It's like, how are you so inhuman, especially as a woman? Like, women are treated as, in a way, more human, like more sensitive, more emotional. The Lily Phillips. Did you ever watch the Lily Phillips documentary?
No, I just saw that like little clip on Twitter.
Yeah, it was a very sad documentary. Like, and you can see she is basically, well, interestingly, Bonnie Blue, her mum also works with her. She works with her on her business.
Right.
And with Lily Phillips, her parents support her. And she like is at one point in the documentary, she's on a phone with her mum, and like her mum's encouraging her to do it. And it feels like it is a pimping. And Lily Phillips, like, she breaks down crying. And there's the clip that you saw. She does seem more like she's been lured into this.
Yeah.
Bonnie Blue, I just think there might be a human, like, deep down. But I mean, I think, like, even with, like, I think, like, as a Catholic, like, and as a I don't want to bring Catholicism so much into this, but, you know, there are demons in the world. Like, there is demonic forces in the world.
Yeah.
Someone has to be, you can be possessed by a demonic force. I know it sounds it's so illogical, irrational, whatever, and I still struggle with it to a point. But there are such, it seems, I'm not getting anything from her. And it's like, either she's so stupid, but then everything she actually does, her actions, her business sense, her even her appearances on like interviews, she seems like pretty with it.
Yeah.
So if it's not stupidity, like, what is it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think with the Unheard article, it's like about, like, it kind of feels like it's sort of shoehorning Scruton in there because Kathleen Stock went to a Bonnie Blue thing and then she went to a Scruton thing, and she's like, these things are different. What would Roger Scruton think about Bonnie Blue? I don't know. It seems kind of quite surface level analysis to just be like, you know, Roger Scruton thought that sex could be good and it has like this special place as like union, and Bonnie Blue isn't doing that. And yeah, I think like you were saying earlier about the fact that like they want to talk about sanctity, they want to talk about these sort of transcendental kind of values, but they can't really do that within a secular framework.
Yeah, and there was like a video accompanying the article with Kathleen Stock and Freddie Sayers.
Yeah.
And they kind of, it's so weird to have like these secular people. I mean, the whole article made me just be like, just be Catholic. Like, I know it sounds like really stupid, but it's just be Catholic. Where it's like, you know, they're trying to not be liberal because they know that that's kind of failed. Yeah. And then obviously Scruton, I like, he was never actually a full-on Christian. He had that like cultural Anglicanism, Christianity, which I do think is, to a point, the reason we're here. Like, we got here because of a sort of, oh yes, you know, like they talk about how he thought sex should be non-objectifying. It should be like the individual seen as like a fully realized person. There's a sacredness to it. There is a sort of connection that you have, and there is that sacred union. Because when they talk about sacredness or sanctity, the implication is that there's a soul, right?
Yeah. I mean, I struggle with the Catholic morality thing.
Yeah, same.
I think it's really hard, like, if you're not married.
It is hard, yeah.
I don't know. Have you read The Towers of Trebizond?
No.
It's a novel by Rose Macaulay, and it's about this, like, group of Anglo-Catholics who travel through Turkey to try and like convert Muslims to like Anglo-Catholicism.
Okay.
It's from the 50s, but like a lot of it was drawn on her own life. She was in this like long-term relationship with a married man.
Okay.
And she never married because of it. He eventually like died in, I think, a car accident. Okay. But throughout the book, she's like, this Anglo-Catholic priest, Father Chantry Pig, Father Chantry Pig. It's such a funny book because it's still so accurate to how Anglo-Catholics are. And it's like, oh, you literally haven't changed in 70 years, like word for word. Like there's a bit where they talk about, you know, referring to Istanbul as Constantinople, and like, you know, yeah. But he tells her, you know, if you wait to give up your like sort of immoral attachment to this married man, if you wait until it's easy, then you won't have any of your faith left. Like, you have to give it up while it's hard. Yeah. And then by the time she gets to the end of the book and this guy has died, and she eventually gets back to the church and she starts taking communion, it's like she doesn't believe it anymore. And yeah, I mean, I went to mass today, and like I don't take communion. I haven't been to confession in ages.
Yeah.
And
same.
it feels like such a massive thing to give up because of like lust. It's like the body of Christ. It's like God made flesh, and I'm giving that up to go on dates.
I know.
Like,
but yeah,
I think I think I'm kind of avoiding church because of that. Because like when I was aiming to get married, then it felt like, you know, the end was in sight, and eventually I would have this like settled, like,
sure.
like relationship that would be okay with the church.
Yeah.
And now I've kind of given up on marriage, and that feels like indefinite, and I don't really know how to make sense of that. Sorry, this is getting really deep.
No, it's it's very difficult, like, because we do live in like a modern, like, obviously we live in modernity.
Yeah.
And
it takes a long time to get married.
It takes a long time even if you're like a Catholic, like, you know, it still takes ages to plan a wedding and whatever else. But I do think that, like, I mean, we spoke about it in the last episode, but about the difference between premarital and like pornography and stuff. And there is like a sense when you, and I mean, not to, we'll get shat on by that, you know, that guy that clips us last time about like, oh, it's a social signifier.
Yeah.
But it's like,
and I'm not a trad cath. I've never made out that I'm a trad cath.
Yeah, and those guys they suck anyway. Like a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Like a lot of not every trad cath, but a lot of trad caths I meet, they have very political reasons for being that way, and the men especially. I think, I mean, the reason like with Catholicism why it does, I feel like I've been a Catholic for like several years now. It is that there is an understanding of humanity as sinful, and you try and you try and you fail and you fail, and that is what confession is for. That is what, I mean, I haven't gone to confession for a while because and it's so weird when like non-Catholics talk like, oh, you can just go to confession, and it's like, well, you have to regret it.
Yeah, you have to actually feel contrition.
And literally once I like was on my way to confession, and I just was like, I don't regret it, so I just turned and got a Tesco meal deal. Like it literally just turned like,
and there are these kind of workarounds that you come up with. It's like, oh, like I can sort of convince myself that I intend not to do it again, but I kind of on some level know that I will, because practically I'm not changing my life sufficiently that it won't happen again. Even if I have that intent.
Right. The only thing you can have is that, like, whenever I go to confession, it's at my wit's end. It's like I'm done. Like I am done with the way that I've been. I'm sick of it, and I actively want to try. And I think they talk about this anyway. You know, you can go knowing that life is life, and probably down the line, but you need to make the effort. Like, and I always like. That's why I turned to go to Tesco, because I was like, I'm not at my wit's end.
Yeah.
There's a part of me that, I mean, even like within marriage, you're meant to, you know, like your sexual morality is very constrained even within marriage.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, you're in a predicament. I'm like in a sort of a different predicament as well.
Yeah.
And both of those are kind of tied with modernity, because I know you have like natural family planning and Catholicism.
Yeah.
But it's like, we live in a very hostile city to marriage formation.
Yeah.
And there are different considerations to put in place. Like, and people do talk about prudence. Like even priests have spoken about prudence. Like you have to exercise it. But I just feel like for you, for example, to have premarital sex is like, I mean, going back to the Bonnie Blue thing is like...
Maybe I have a demon. I just need to get exercised.
I thought about getting exercised before. And then I was like, I spoke to someone and they were like, well, have you ever invited demons into your life? And I was like, no, because I've been scared of demons even when I was an atheist for some reason.
Yeah.
But I'm like, but I feel like there's a demon in me, like a sloth piece of shit.
I mean,
demon.
This is why I love Saint Augustine, because like I get lost as my main issue.
Sure.
And like he gets it.
And he like just that it's a very famous sentence of like, give me chastity. And
Lord, make me chaste, but not yet.
Like, I connected so much to it, and confessions felt so modern. It felt so it was like literally reading now.
Yeah.
And the thing that he like, I think I don't have lust as much, but I have he talks about his like worldly ambition.
Yeah.
Like he had that ambition to be like powerful and to
Yeah.
And it's like, and that's the thing, like I can't let go of that. Like I feel I'm not there, and I'm like, you know, all the criticism of Catholics, like, well, you can just confess on your deathbed. In the back of my mind, there's a part of me that thinks, well, yeah, like, you know, like, and it's like, you have to, like, and ironically, when I am too focused with power, I'm too focused with, I think it's anything like that, like lust as well. When you're too focused on that, that's the bit that gets destroyed. Like, for some reason it doesn't work out. Whereas like I've actually found like more success when I'm more, you let go of things.
Yeah.
And in a way you let God take, not that this
let
is
go,
with
let God.
go let God. And I think that's the same thing with marriage. Like we've spoken about relationships before, but there's a thing that you have, it's a completely worldly instinct to control, to try to like make an outcome happen. And I think you have it in Confessions where he was very successful, but you know, it came with its own issues, and like he got into like random different philosophies and different groups, and his concubine, was it concubine? They had like a pretty reasonable relationship. I think that's the other thing, like in Confessions, like he did have a loving relationship with someone that he wasn't married to, and that is possible. And there's something there's just something so modern about him and so real, and it is Catholic. And I think like the stuff with the Bonnie Blue stuff, I think the Kathleen argument of being like we're all Bonnie Blue, I don't think that's true. Like just because you're like having premarital, or you're like, you are still seeking something that's good and like noble, like again, maybe not. And with these girls, like when he again tries to compare like is it 10 bodies, is it 20 bodies, and it's like you can have 20 bodies from seeking something. you can have redacted bodies from seeking something.
It's like when I got like recruited by Opus Dei.
Oh yeah,
at Mass, and they like slid me like a little note at Mass being like, come to this house.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I went to a couple of Opus Dei meetings. Can we talk about that?
I think we're not in Opus Dei.
We're not in Opus Dei, and I'm not a fan.
You're not a fan?
No, the place I went was very like, it wasn't even the elite. Like I feel like if you're in Oxford, like I think there's like, you know, an actual like intellectual elite going on there. Where I went, it was like a bunch of like really professional corporate galleys, and it felt like a corporate galley club.
Yeah. So well, the whole thing is like they go into like important high-ranking professions to like try and spread Catholicism that way without really telling people who they are.
Well, the other thing that I had, because I looked into it quite a lot to be like, you know, is this a like a cult, like essentially a cult or whatever? Because I read the was it Angels and Demons and Angels and Demons, so I was like, oh, it's very cool. I was like 12. I was like, this is the coolest fucking thing I've ever read. That's my level of literature.
I don't know. I kind of like the spirituality, like the sanctification of everyday life thing.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's nice.
And like, glorifying work. I think, I mean, obviously like the Protestant work ethic kind of did that in a more...
Spain needed that.
Bring it back.
What's his name? Jose Maria.
Yeah. Well, that was the other thing when I went. It was like nearly everyone was like a Spanish lady, and I'm not a Spanish lady, and I was like, I do not want to hang out with a Spanish lady.
Yeah,
like...
they're just very, very anti-sex. Like I was invited to like a talk about premarital sex there, and it was just quite stressful.
Because they're just like, no, like what's the talk?
Yeah,
just don't do it.
Yeah, obviously don't do it
for an hour.
Yeah, I think it would just make me way too neurotic.
Yeah,
I want to be like a normal Catholic. Like, you know, I don't know how to communicate this to people who just assume that I'm a trad Cath, even though I've never like presented as such. Like, I've never worn a mantilla or anything. Like, I've never been a trad Cath. I just like wanted to be like a normal.
Yeah,
I wanted to be like a cradle Catholic. I wanted to be like a lapsed. I wanted to be Graham Greene.
Yeah.
And people think if you're a convert, you can't be Graham Greene.
I literally, we always
he was a convert.
Was he a convert?
He was a convert.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice. I feel like it's almost like the extent of your mental illness before you converted is the extent to which you'll really like go down a rabbit hole. And I don't think we were as mentally, you know, like we were like in a pretty.
I'm pretty mentally ill. But, I mean, this is why I relate to Graham Greene, because he was, like, bipolar.
Was he?
Yeah, and, like, an alcoholic, and, you know, really struggled with his faith because of that. Because, like, you know, he would have these long periods of, like, he would, you know, have long affairs and stuff, and had this really conflicted relationship with his faith. And I think that's really normal. And I kind of hate this pressure to like, if you've converted, you have to be this like perfect wholesome chungus, and like, you know, wear a mantilla and be really trad, and it's like that was never going to be me.
No, and you get that weird judgment, and yeah, I think like the thing with Catholicism is that it does account for the full experience of human, like, and it's like it's uniquely like, it's like special in like almost understanding the human experience to its core, and that includes the premarital, that includes like you do watch pornography, like you do like it lives in modernity, it can cope with modernity for the most part.
And I think the way it's framed, like online and to a certain extent in real life, it's like these two separate spheres. It's like, you know, on one hand Bonnie Blue, on the other Catholicism, and it's like you know, seen as this, you know, cultural vanguard against everything that's wrong with modernity.
Right.
Yeah, I think Penelope Fitzgerald said about Muriel Spark that she only became a novelist when she became a Catholic, because that was the only that was the point at which she saw human life in its entirety in a way that, you know, could be turned into a novel. Like the Catholic imaginary in novels, like in Catholic novels, is very dark. It's full of violence and sex and like all the worst parts, like the most evil, dark parts of human experience.
Yes, yeah.
And those are like profoundly Catholic, like Flannery O'Connor, like Graham Greene, like this world which is comfortable dealing with darkness, which doesn't feel the need to like artificially banish it and create this like weird dichotomy of like good people and bad people. It's like, no, this is like a world full of sinners who are like attempting to like recapture something of what's like naturally good about the world. And failing. So.
Yeah, I think the concept of sin, or a concept of being fallen, has really... It's the thing of like Catholicism being so preoccupied with morbidity, with death, with everything, and in that way it becomes life-affirming. Like there's all these I think Chesterton talks about it again, the paradox, the insane paradoxes that Catholicism has, that again, like the dissonance, like you have to hold the paradox in your head. Like even like the Trinity isn't in a sense like a sort of weird paradox. But you don't have that. Like, and it's interesting with the Bonnie Blue stuff with like Kathleen and Freddie, like especially talking about it, where it feels like they are looking for one true answer to it, and then they're going into liberalism, they're going to the Scrutonian like Anglicanism, they're going into aesthetics, they're going into whatever, and I think trauma.
The secular mind has to look for like Christianity as the fix to like all of the evils of modernity,
right?
And like this kind of, you know, vanguard of like holy, like pure people who will like beat down the excesses and like the decadence of like postmodernity. And it's like that is not a Christian viewpoint. That's not like that is the attitude of a secular Christian, of someone who you know, wants Christianity to be values, wants it to be a set of values, wants to see Jesus as like a good teacher who gave us like a good set of principles to live by, but it doesn't actually deal with the heart of Christianity, which is like the transformation of the world.
Right. Yeah. And the soul, the human. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, even like, I think I feel harsh. I feel like I have a bit of an Islamist streak to me. And I think I think that's interesting, like how Islam is very attractive to a lot of people, and especially men, for I think maybe more misogynistic reasons. But there is a sort of like certainty to Islam. Like there is there's loads of rules. It's very like Talmudic in a sense, like it's very similar to like rabbinic Judaism, to the point of like taxes, like to a point of how much you should tax different like warring tribes and whatever. And I think that's attractive to a like the liberal, like, you know, do nothing, like and I think in some ways Catholicism, like, and that's why people have an issue with it. It's like, oh, it's a social signifier, or it's like this, or it's like this, and it's like you have to be able to hold paradoxes, and you have to be able to integrate those, because that is what we are. Like that is what humans are. We are both good, we are both bad, and like maybe with Bonnie Blue I've been too harsh, because it's like I'm like saying she's like demon possessed or whatever. But you're right, like
children of God.
We're all children of God, and I think like she clearly has an understanding of society as it should function. Again, that liberal logic, like if I can't have kids, like I'll just do whatever the fuck I want. Like, I'll be a nihilist. Like, she's a nihilist. Like, she sees nothing in the future.
Yeah.
She exists in the now. Like, she exists in this attention to a point that's like with Twitter as well. Like, there's an attention, like there's only the present. Like,
yeah, like we were talking about this with the travel stuff, like the digital nomads, and like someone at that party the other night was talking about how like everyone on Hinge is like all they talk about is travel, and like they just want to keep traveling, and like that's the goal of their lives. And it's like you don't recognize any goods beyond like your own freedom, like maximal freedom and experience, enjoyment. So you just travel like from place to place, and you live this like nomadic lifestyle where you have like no roots. And I think people, like the people I've met who like live constantly abroad and live that like digital nomad lifestyle and like never come back to Britain, there is something wrong with them. Like they are like profoundly like alienated and like maladjusted. I mean, I did it a little bit last year. Like spent like 6 weeks in Tulum, and it's really set up for like digital nomads. Like it's easy, it's nice. I get why you would do it, but the idea of doing that forever, like of that being your entire life.
And I think it's a distraction mechanism. I think like when we went on holiday last year, I think I remember being like in our villa, and it was like beautiful, heavenly place, whatever. And I was still on my phone. I was like still on my phone.
Yeah.
And I was like, you fucker, like you're in heaven. You're in you're in heaven on earth. This is the most amazing thing. All you really care about is going on your phone. So if you're going to care about going on your phone, go on your phone in your flat. Like sit on the fucking sofa. And I do have like different thoughts on like going on your phone or whatever. Maybe now that I'm making like Twitter content.
Oh, I need to reactivate Twitter.
Yeah.
I also need to write a novel this month. Like I need to write like 15,000 words. So
is that for 2 chapters? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the stuff you read in the reading series was really good. Like genuinely.
I'm really excited about it. Yeah. I actually need to log off. I'm just spending like my screen time is crazy. I don't know how to like actually get off Twitter without like fully deleting Twitter.
Right. Yeah, I think you're also at that point, like, because I went from like a month ago from having like 100 followers to like now having like 500-ish. I hit 600 today.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing. But even what I was going to say was like, even at my tiny follower count, like I already feel like I have loads. And if I tweet something, I'm like the engagement I get. So I'm like, at your level, like, it is like a drug. It is addictive. It's all this stuff. But to a point, it's like the most interesting, like the thing with the Bonnie Blue thing, the reason like is such a clickbaity article. It read like, you know, on Twitter when you have 2 memes going at the same time and you like combine the meme to try to get the most engagement. Yeah. It felt like that. And it does feel like a lot of like these formal publications are downstream or, you know, downstream of Twitter. Yeah. And they're trying to like capitalize on that like Twitter attention. And it's because like it actually, as addictive and whatever sloppy as it is, like Twitter is, it's still like the most interesting, like it is where politics is happening, like a constant stream of interesting information that is relevant to you.
I know, but I have to write a book. I have to actually do something.
Yeah, I don't mean for you. I think for you, like you can take some time off and it's fine.
Like, my brain is so melted.
Yeah, I think it does melt your brain.
Like I can't read.
Yeah, because it's short. It becomes short form. Your brain becomes short form. Yeah. So it's you do need some space from it. And then the only books you can read are like almost offshoots of Twitter. Like
I read Paradise Logic by Sophie Kemp and Flat Earth by Annika Levy, which I'm going to write about both of them. They're actually both really good books and really interesting. But I'm calling it like amphetamine realism or something. It's like it's kind of, it features in both of these books. It's like one of them has this fake drug that's kind of like Adderall. The other one just talks about Adderall, and it's like it's written like you're on Adderall. Like it's you know, short sentences, like high information, like you know, really crammed in there with like references.
Yeah.
Really dense.
Yeah.
Like information. It's like information maxing. And it sort of flits around from one thing to another. I mean, both of these actually have plots, and they're like great books. But that's basically the only thing I read now.
Well, I thought in the reading series, like the first two pieces from Alex and Olive.
Yeah.
Because I think like we spoke about in the last episode, where I'm like, I don't know what readings are, and like I really thought that I would be like a bit bored and like a little bit like like illiterate or whatever. But I found them really engaging.
Yeah.
And I think partly because they were very funny. They were very quick-witted.
And like referential.
Yeah, referential and short and snappy and like good dialogue, like very, and so it, not that it felt like going on Twitter, but it was like almost like that.
Yeah.
And I think in some ways, like, because I've read a bit of alt lit, and like, I think something about it being read out.
Yeah.
Where it was just like, it's almost like a comedy routine. Like, it's almost like, at least their two pieces were.
And it's something about the specificity of it as well, like the references that you get, and it triggers this like recognition and
like meme. Essentially, it's a meme, like meme recognition.
Yeah. I went to see Rachel Ormond, www.rachelormond.com at the Ivy House the other day with Melly, and it was so hard to watch because it's so heavy on that reference stuff.
Interesting. Okay.
Like Curtis Yarvin is in it for some reason, like Ivy Work, Honor Levy, Dasha, like it's just like super. It's talking about like angelicism,
right?
And kind of already feels dated, like 2 years later. And this is kind of what worries me about trying to make art that is of the moment, because you know I was saying earlier, like nobody's making art about like the UK, and it feels like kind of like everyone is trapped in like setting their books as if it's London 10 years ago. But then everything moves so fast that if you set it now, like the references are so specific that within a few years it already feels dated.
I get that. It's like with the drill music, it's like you go into a culture. Like if you watch that movie, the Rachel Ormond movie, you're watching a culture. You're watching that like whatever New York culture.
The last one we saw there, The Code, was really great, and that was set during the pandemic.
That's like about the pandemic, right?
Yeah, it's like again Dasha and like Peter Back, and it's like about making a documentary about the pandemic.
Right.
And there's like crypto stuff, but like the director did a little introduction for it, and he was saying like, you know, it's made for people whose brains have been rotted by like TikTok, and it's kind of like the way it's filmed. It's like filmed from all these different like devices, like spy cams and dash cams and iPhones, and there are like often like multiple things going on the same screen at the same time, and like it's very meme heavy, but actually really, really good film, like really well done, like felt like actually good art about the internet,
right?
And like I think that's one of the best films I've seen about the internet. The other one is like Grand Theft Hamlet, which I loved.
I don't know.
Which is like a production of Hamlet that they do in Grand Theft Auto Online. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, I think we just do have to reckon with it. And I think like these like, you know, formal publications like Unheard and like whatever, and The Critic, like they are trying to reckon with it. It's just, it's so early stage that we are like, and also
it's not really early stage though. We've been online for ages.
I think it's like we've reached the point where everyone's online. Like everyone's online in some way or form. Either they're doing like the Twitter thing, or they're doing TikTok, or they're doing Instagram. It's just like to pretend that there is this like mystical group of people. Even my normie friends, like they're online. It's just a slightly different form of online, and we have to like like something has to be created about being like that.
Yeah, I mean you can't write a novel now that's not about the internet in some way,
right? Or like, even like has phones in it, or like
you shouldn't be able to write a novel set in London without setting it in like UK culture,
right, and having that like be a really big part of it. And when it isn't, like I think I was just like quite upset with Lena Dunham's, like I only watched one episode, but it was just like I think Girls was so of the moment, and again like watching
Girls
that is like a
so
time
good.
capsule.
I've been watching it. It's actually like an amazing show. I can't believe I haven't seen it before.
I know I haven't watched it. Like I only just watched it like this year, but it's like it was it's like watching like 2014. It's like watching like this Brooklyn culture that now has like permeated out into like worldwide.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. And I think like maybe because of our politics, or, you know, a lot of the time artists, as they get older, they get richer, they get more removed from the old, like,
for sure,
like thing. But yeah, I feel like everyone is
kind of... You don't have to take the tube.
They don't have to take the tube. They don't have to like get on the bus. They don't have to go to shops in the same way. And I think like Bonnie Blue taps into it. The sort of UK aesthetic is online. Everything like is published, you know, is online. And that's why like the Online Safety Act is like trying to, but they're always going to be one step behind, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, they're talking about banning VPNs now.
Yeah.
It's just insane.
Yeah, Kathleen Stock in the interview with Freddie, she was saying like when they were talking about the pornography aspect of the Online Safety Act, she was like, well, you know, they're talking about VPNs now, but only a certain group of people will use VPN. Some people won't be.
No.
Essentially, she said some people won't be smart enough to use VPNs.
But it's like the Streisand effect. It's like the more you ban stuff, the more people hear about VPNs and the more people use VPNs.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's barriers to entry, right? So like things.
It's pretty easy. Like it's not that hard to download Tor.
Oh my god, I haven't heard that name in years. Trying to buy drugs online. Bunch of pedophiles. You have to like go fast.
Like working class people can use the internet.
They can, and I think for something like porn, where the I think it's cost benefit, right?
Yeah.
Like how big is the benefit? And the benefit is porn. I think everyone's gonna be on that shit.
Yeah.
Because remember when you were a teenager and you like tried to like, I think I had some limits. I can't remember what those limits were, but like you got around. You've got that teenage energy as well, where you're like, I've got the time, the energy, the horniness to actually.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to pretend I know the solution to like teenagers consuming loads and loads of online porn, because obviously, like, it does have massive consequences as your sexuality is forming.
It does.
To be exposed to that stuff all the time. And I don't think I understood how much people watch it. Like the fact that people are watching it like every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like having spoken to some like men about it recently, and it's like, oh yeah, like my friends watch it like literally every day.
Yeah. I mean, that's what when I was a teenager.
Like that's brainwashing.
Yeah.
Like that is just like fully reconditioning your brain. But I still don't think like government intervention is the way to fix that.
Not like, I mean, I guess we have slightly, because I'm pro state power if it's like my state power, but not in the current form it is, like not in the current government, not in the way that it is right now. I think because I'm a bit of a prude, so I'm like for like when they were like gonna ban vapes. Disposable vapes.
I think that's good, actually.
Well, this is the thing, because I was happy. I was like, oh, thank God, like, because I don't have the willpower. I do not have the willpower to give up vapes.
Yeah.
But if they just fucking stopped vapes, there's off licenses in London because they're run by Muslim owners.
Yeah.
They don't sell alcohol, and we have this even like where we live. There's only one off license. There's like 6 off licenses, but there's only
the Jewish one.
But like, yeah, you take that. But there's like only one off license that does it, and even that to like 10 p.m. Yeah, because every off license here is. I mean, most off licenses are like Muslim, and I remember thinking I was so pissed off because I was like, I was going somewhere, I couldn't buy the drink, and I was like really angry, and I was like, this is UK, you know, like we're British, like
this is Sharia law stopping me from getting plastered on the Jubilee line,
binge drinking. And then like the event we came back from on Friday, we had to go to this like big station to get back. It was like 2 a.m. at that point, and we walked past like a whole bunch of crackheads, and loads of drunk girls, like northern. I've had so many Uber rides late at night where I get in, and me and my like, you know, whatever Bangladeshi, Pakistani driver start talking about Western degeneracy.
And you're like, yes.
We start talking about like girls can't take their drink, like girls like I saw a girl like passed out on the steps like on the station on Friday night, and I just remember being like there's like actually like we have this weird.
You are like an Islamist. You have that immigrant hate of the northern lass.
And I shouldn't, and I know that I should, and I've been there. I've literally been there in my early 20s. I've been passed out on steps. I've been there. Yeah. And I'm like, to a point, like, you should be able to do that in a safe society. You should be able to get fucking plastered.
In a high trust society.
Yeah. Exactly. But, you know, like, when I think of having kids now, and it's like, I don't think, you know, I'm going to be very careful with my kids. I'm like on top of them in many ways, in normal ways. And
Lena Dunham ways.
Lena Dunham I remember when I was like super lefty, that was my criticism of her, was that she was a pedophile.
Molested her sister. Yeah. Again, I think she should be commended for her honesty, talking about childhood sexuality. She's like Kanye.
Because kids do that.
Yeah.
Kids literally, I mean, again, I won't talk about it, but like kids do that. Like, and I mean, it's weird. And I think she has a really bad relationship with her sister, to be fair, which I don't think was helped by writing all that down into a book.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think,
was it like putting rocks in her vagina or something?
Yeah, it was pretty graphic. I mean, I think I had a point when I was railing against
African dry sex.
What is this African? I saw you tweet that. I was like, what is African?
It's like a thing. It's like a thing in some cultures where they will introduce foreign objects like sand or like grit to the vagina to reduce lubrication and friction. And this is part of the reason for like STI transmission and stuff. Yeah, it is actually real. It sounds like it's like a really racist made up thing, but it's actually real.
Yeah. I mean, I think because we like did this podcast, I started listening to my like our competition. But like it's not even our competition because it's like leftist media, and I think there is this, and I didn't have it when I was very left wing, where you don't have this conception of other cultures as being other cultures, like other fucking cultures. There was did you see this tweet? There was this like controversy around some Labour MPs that were Muslim. It was Adnan Hussein, who tweeted about like, is there not a space on the left wing for people who are socially conservative because they're Muslim, but still have left wing values? Yeah, and it obviously got a lot of shit and whatever, and it felt like mask off moment.
I can't find it now, but there's something about like a council that voted not to display the pride flag, and one of the like Labour councillors or maybe the Green councillors was like, we supported you in like, anti-Islamophobia, anti-racism campaigns, like, and now you've turned around and stabbed us in the back. And I think it is that failure to understand like group interests.
It's either it doesn't exist, or then the thing you said, like, or then it exists and is good, and actually the British man is the oppressor.
Like, do you remember did you ever see Pride, the film?
No. Oh, is that in North or something?
It's set in Wales. I'm getting more alcohol to own the Muslims.
From my off license that only goes till 10 p.m. I'm getting a mojito Bacardi.
So it was about like lesbians and gays support the miners, which was this campaign 10 years ago. When I was in like first year uni, I was like very left wing. Went to this march, this demo. I can't remember what it was about. The Omnicause, and there was this banner. And it was like they had the lesbians and gays support the miners banner, but they'd rebranded to lesbians and gays support the migrants.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it is just that like you just change up the groups. You just switch them out as if they're interchangeable, and you don't actually have any interest in what might make those groups different. It's just like this broad, like homogenous solidarity.
Yeah.
It's like every oppressed group should, deserves your solidarity, and you have to adopt them into your omnicause. And like, it's like that thing that like people post about, it's like you need an advanced anthropology degree to understand modern Britain.
Yeah.
And you do, like you need actual like curiosity and interest about other cultures and how their practices might differ, their beliefs, their values.
Yeah.
Like you need to know the difference between like different groups in Pakistan.
Yes, that's the only concept I understand. And to understand anything else, you have to have an idea of the organic. And they are so against the idea of the organic. And I didn't know about a lot of stuff until I moved to London, but I didn't know about the intra-South Asian racism that they all have. Like it's like a whole other, because it's a continent, like it's a, you know, the subcontinent.
And people try to frame that in like post-colonial terms and say, you know, this is just an inheritance of colonialism.
Yes, yeah.
And that's why they have all this like intercaste conflict or like intertribal conflict,
which is,
and it just doesn't work.
And it's so patronizing. It's to be like, oh yeah, they didn't have anything until the British came there.
You see this with Christianity as well, with all the like left, like liberal Anglican criticisms of like GAFCON. It's like the sort of global Anglican realignment is very conservative. And it's mostly like African,
right?
And they're very like anti-gay, and you get this argument from like well-meaning liberal Anglicans that was just something they got from like Anglican missionaries, and they never would have been homophobic otherwise, and that therefore we have a duty to like re-educate them with like the updated modern British values, which are, you know, anti-homophobia.
It's so colonial. It's colonial.
Yeah,
it's like colonial.
Yeah.
It's like you literally think so little of these people.
You've been bamboozled by some white people.
Yeah. Like
and now you need to be like...
as if all cultures haven't, like, throughout time had some kind of thing with homophobia. Like, haven't, you know, every culture has had a thing with this.
Yeah.
And, it's so colonial. It's so patronizing. And it just... Yeah, I think I've, like, since, like, kind of changing political views, I've become much more, like... in a way, like, appreciative of other cultures and being like, actually there is this like diversity of humanity,
Yeah. You need to be a bit racist to get on with people.
You do, yeah. And people kind of like it. Like, I don't know, like I have, you know, friends that we get on with it. Like, and also because I'm like Eastern European, so we joke about that. And like, there is differences, and like they can be celebrated and they can be
like the most racist people I know are like Kurdish. But like, you know, you get, if you are like a liberal and, you know, you're really concerned with anti-racism and, you know, you've educated yourself, it's like you get very like careful about mentioning stuff, and like you don't want to put a foot wrong, you don't want to say anything that might offend anyone, and you end up actually just avoiding those people entirely, and your circle is just like other white liberals, and like I think if you're able to actually talk about cultural differences, like it's way easier to like chat to people and like actually make friends. I mean that's the main thing I talk about when I'm traveling. It's like cultural differences, and like people actually want to tell you about like their countries and their beliefs and stuff.
People are proud of like where they're from. Like I think like this is a uniquely have you seen this stuff, like every culture in the world is like love my family, love food, whatever. And it's like there's a uniquely Anglo-Germanic thing where you don't talk about your country, you don't talk, and it's its own form of supremacy. It's its own form of like, we are above that. We are above.
Well,
like,
it's British values.
It's British values.
Tolerance and democracy.
And then like again, like not to bring back to the Bonnie Blue thing, but it's like that's like where that gets you. And then like we're having
Bonnie Blue is British values.
She actually is. Well, yeah, like to a point, like she's the extreme endpoint of liberalism, obviously.
I've forgotten the other ones. Hang on. Mutual respect and individual liberty.
It's so American as well. Like it's so individual liberty.
Where did that even come from? Like when did we? Because like when I like did like teacher training, we had to like learn these. These are like statutory obligations,
right?
Like to comply with British values and to teach people British values.
Wait, so did you have to teach British values?
Yeah.
How does that work?
Like, you literally just have a statutory duty to do it. I have no idea how you do it, but like that's part of like the prevent thing. It's like if someone's not abiding by British values, like if they're like like a Yarvin fan, like a monarchist.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. Like is British values like the monarchy, because that's what you know, if you were like...
Yeah, that's not on the list. That's not on the the big 5 British values.
Stupid hand.
I don't know. It's just it's like giving 1984. You know,
it's very
it's like
nice.
The whole aesthetic of like the Starmer. I know it's older than Starmer, but like this whole thing. It's like, oh, you have to know the 5 British values by heart, in case you get quizzed by a GB News presenter on the high street. You can't go on. You have to show your ID to go on Spotify.
Take a picture. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, yes. Yeah, I mean, there is no... I mean, arguably, like... I think, like, when we were at the Scruton conference, I think just like Charlie Downs said, like, British values have changed, but the British people haven't. You know, like, if you're British, and that has changed. And it's like, yeah, that guy in the UK doc, like, yeah, I think, like, the cost of living. Why not cost of living? Why
it's
not
just a
cost
bizarre
of living?
thing to ask about British values. Well, I don't know why he asked that, because that's one of like the markers of like, you know, this like post ethnic, like multicultural UK.
Yeah,
it's like you're not defined by like being born here or having British ancestry. You're defined by adherence to these 5 British values. So why do you care if people know them and like have integrated into them?
Yeah. Well, it's because I mean, they can't say the reason you're not British is because you're not British, right? Like, and because that would be too much for GB News. That would be too much, and that's again like the Twitter account is way harsher than the GB News in terms of like that stuff. And I think it's like a weird gotcha moment, but it's like the British values will change. They'll change in like 20 years' time.
Yeah.
And that guy will still like, you can live like...
So how do you make sense of not being ethnically British?
Being ethnically British. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult. I think like I went back to where I'm from a few years back.
Yeah.
And I hadn't been back for like over a decade. I only went back as a kid once. And it was so weird because everyone looked like me. Like, everyone looked like me.
Like Billie Eilish in Dublin.
100% that. 100% that. That's exactly how it felt, where she was like, everyone here looks like me. And everyone's like cheering. And there's like all that Irish like nationalism to it as well.
Yeah.
And
I thought you meant when you went back home and like
everyone
cheering
was
to see it. This is what you get in a country where like people have hospitality and like care about their families and food.
There is a commonality there that like has been quite it helps us. I mean, not to say that we're like the Irish, but like there's a weird parallels between the Irish and Eastern Europeans, and that sort of like a bit melancholic, a bit alcoholic, a bit, you know, like sort of so there's this like symbiosis, and I feel very patriotic about not leaving here. And it's also like I was taken here against my will.
I was trafficked.
I was trafficked to this island. To the Jimmy Savile Island. Well, how do you feel about the fact, like, since you've got your genetic results, because you're like half Anglo, right? Like half fully English. Have you had any change of like concept of yourself, like idea of yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I feel I've got less excuse to like do the performative anti-English sentiment, which is like a bit cringe anyway. Like, yeah, but I mean, it's really fundamental to Welsh identity to like hate the English and to be like, oh, they colonized us, and like deprived us of our like language and culture,
right?
But yeah, I guess I would probably say I feel more comfortable saying I'm British now, which is kind of weird.
Interesting, yeah.
So maybe I do just have like an ethnic definition of it. But I mean, one of the things that like I actually think is really important is like growing up with like a positive national identity and like not feeling ashamed or not feeling like you have to distance yourself from that. Actually being like able to celebrate your culture,
right?
And that's not something you can do like in England, really.
Exactly, yeah.
And yeah, I just hate the idea of raising kids in like some like suburb, you know, where they're just like British and they've got no connection to anywhere.
It's to anywhere. It's to
yeah. Because like one of my grandparents has like a lot of English, like from like the West Country, but otherwise my family had been in Wales for like, you know, as far back as we can trace it,
right,
and like the same area. Yeah,
I feel like West Country English is like almost Welsh. Like,
yeah, basically,
it's a cider country,
like the witchy.
Yeah. I think there was something about the suburbs itself, because again, that is a sort of Americanization, like that is a sort of deracinated like form where you're nothing. And I think it's weird with the English pride, where I think they're trying to make it more of a thing. I think because now we have this influx, it's almost like it has to be in opposition to something. So I think a lot of Welsh nationalism is an opposition, right?
Absolutely, and that's going to keep happening. Like, you know, Aris Roussenos has talked about the increasing sectarianism and like the sort of ulsterization in Britain, and like increasingly you will have that. You will have people proudly identifying as English.
Yeah.
You'll have like much more sense of like specific belonging.
Yeah. Have you seen that? I went to Cornwall like a few years back, and they have like the Cornish flag. Have you seen? It's like black as well, because it's like I didn't realize. Because what?
They have a language as well. They also
have.
Yeah, when I've been to Cornwall, and it's really funny because like you can understand the like the place names and stuff, because it's really similar to Welsh. It's just like slightly different because they use zads.
Yeah.
We don't have zads.
That black flag, I didn't realize is like, you know, the pirate flag.
It's not a pirate flag.
But weren't pirates that
went
off
like
to
a skull
America?
and crossbones.
But didn't they go from Cornwall?
I don't know. Maybe
I think there were pirates from Cornwall, because I remember like when we were on Cornwall and seeing the black flag.
Yeah.
Being like, oh,
is that just because of like Assassin's Creed black flag?
Like again yesterday, or like Friday
I've
night,
you were like,
Assassin's
Creed. I haven't played Assassin's Creed for so long.
You were like, this is like the 1940s expansion pack.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed.
Oh god, yeah, we're walking over Waterloo Bridge. Yeah. I've got to get my fix. I've got to download the new Japan one. With the Black Samurai and the non-binary ninja.
Oh, was that? Yeah, they're doing that now. That's fun.
Yeah,
that's good for them.
It is a very woke franchise. I like that with Valhalla, because you got to be like a lesbian Viking, and you could have sex with like a lesbian druid in Ireland.
Yeah,
in the expansion pack, in the DLC. I should just start like a Twitch stream at this point.
Just all lesbian content.
I'm also really bad at like every game I play. I'm like comically bad at it. Like I can't do it.
I've been bad at every video game I've played, other than one where the goal of the game is to cause as much damage as you can when you're in a truck or something.
Right.
And like I've been really good at that game to a point.
Truck Tycoon.
And I remember playing because I was like 14 or something, and I was like just like not like I was just like playing it, and then everyone was like, "How are you so good at this game?" And I was like, "I can't fucking move."
Yeah, when I play GTA, like I literally can't drive. Like I literally can't drive a car. I'm just crashing constantly.
I've had that one, like try to play the trucking games where you like deliver goods, which is hilarious to play as a game anyway. It's like The Sims. You know, when you're like a teenager playing The Sims, and it's like you just go to university and you go to classes and you're like, oh, this is like the coolest thing.
Yeah.
It's just admin. It's just like admin work.
Yeah, I mean, I got the like the cottagecore expansion pack for The Sims. I can't remember if it's Sims 3 or Sims 4 that I was playing, but I made this like trad wife, and her husband is like he's like a blogger. He does these like right-wing blogs. And he's not making any money, and like they're starving, and their 5 kids are like starving, and they have all these chickens, and she has to support the family by like milking the cow, and then all the chickens are called like Hitler.
Every single one.
I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I did that.
Just like the worst thing that's ever happened.
Going through something. It's like processing some trauma.
Well, I remember like when I was like a teenager playing The Sims, and I would like my whole thing was just to date as many people as possible, men and women, just whoever's around, and then
Bonnie
like
Blue Sims.
That's how she got her start. We should do a Bonnie Blue expansion pack.
Yeah. OnlyFans expansion pack.
I remember like dating people, and then like you'd go to a party where a bunch of your like amours are there, and they're all jealous whenever you talk to another love interest. Yeah. And I remember being like 15, being like, that's why dating multiple people is bad.
That's where we got our moral code before Catholicism.
That's the liberal morality, like you learn it from
just like the negative emote over their heads.
Yeah. Like, oh, okay, now I'm gonna have to go back to him and like really woo him a lot and
apologize.
Do you know what? Maybe it has been formed. Yeah. Apologize, but hug. Are
you mad at me?
Joke. Are you mad at me? Do you think I'm pretty?
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. Oh my God, yeah, on The Sims, because that's like, because a joke is like one of the best ways to like get your social stats up. Because I feel like that's like my ammo is like to make jokes, and it's like joke, and then like and then hug, kiss.
You're actually way more autistic than you appear. You just like learn a lot from The Sims.
Joke.
We've managed to talk about Sims in like both episodes.
I love this. But I remember
losers.
I remember trying to play it when I was like very mentally unwell at uni, and like bearing in mind like when I was a teenager, I loved the university expansion pack, and I was like, oh, this is so cool, and like I loved it so much. And then I played it at uni, and it was like go to class, do assignment, and I was just like, I'm not doing that shit right now. Like I'm like, this is admin. This is like extra admin. This is reminding me. So I've stopped playing Sims in my adult age because it feels like my whole life is like a stupid
I mean, it
game
does
of
get
Sims.
to the point where like real life is more fun than The Sims.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're like, why can't I do more fun things in Sims? And then you're like, I could just do them in real life.
It's called real life. You're like living on your own in a massive city, like with loads of friends, and it's just like, gotta play this.
Yeah.
Well, it's because it's like, it's no risk, right? Like, it's you
I think it did take me a long time to learn that you can't just like load game in real life. Like you can't like load previous save. Like consequences are like permanent and real.
It's like when in The Sims, because you know that you have like those neighborhoods where things move outside of your time.
Yeah.
Like, so if they move in that time, you can't really control it. And I remember being as a kid, I was like, well, I should be able to control it. And it's like, that's how things are. I think like people talking about you is like another thing. Where
it's like theory of mind. Yeah. Like when I was a kid and I thought other people like went home and just like switched off. Like when they stopped interacting with me.
Yeah. Well,
that makes me sound like a massive narcissist.
No, because I remember switching off after school because I saw school as one long performance.
Yeah.
So then I would come home and I would be like this.
Yeah.
And then my mom would be like, you're like a psychopath. And it's like, because in a way, it makes me sound autistic, but it's like you're masking, right?
Yeah.
You're masking, right? So you're doing this thing, you're being a clown or whatever that I was doing. And then you come home and you're like literally like dead face on your computer, just like... And then your mum's like tries to say anything to you, like that she's just like dinner's ready, and you're like flip at her. I'm not autistic. But it I think that's like pretty standard for teenagers. But I did think like sometimes like you'd meet up with people after school, and I'd be like, well, I'm like, my social battery's dead. I've been performing for like 8 hours. Like, what more do you want from me?
Yeah, I could never do like 5 days in school. I could only ever do like 4.
Yeah,
I would never go on Fridays.
Really? Yeah. Even when you were like 14 or something?
Yeah, my attendance was always like between 50 and like 70%. It was really bad.
They get really weird with you now. So I'm going to turn the window off.
Turn that window off.
Turn that window off. I'm on
my window.
Windows 32.
Actually, when I did Skyrim, one of the most fun bits was doing the house, like designing the house.
I like...
Close the window.
Yeah, I'll close it.
What was I going to say?
In Skyrim, I just wanted to be the cat. Like, that was like my one thing where I was just like, as long as I just get to be the cat, I don't care what happens to me.
I've not been the cat. I was like a Breton mage.
Oh, okay.
Because I could do magic. Like fighting and magic.
Yeah. I just wanted to be a cat like the whole time. Like I used to pretend to be a dog for like whole days as a kid, like just being a dog.
Maybe you are autistic.
Stupid. But yeah, I think like Skyrim was like a weird one because it got kind of like people didn't really like it because it doesn't have the video game like goals. Like it's kind of Sims. It's kind of like Sims, like because you have this free world. Yeah. Because I remember like that hype around Skyrim coming out, and then
I just got bored. I just kind of gave up on it. Like I kind of hate the dungeon thing. You've got to go through dungeons for ages. I get really bored of it. I just want to like wander around and like make potions and like
well, there's like loads of mountains. I would just go like around mountains and then. But I was very scared of video games because I'm a scaredy cat and as a monster would come at you and I was just like, I don't want that.
Me too. I'm like, I don't want to kill that dragon. I think I got to a point in Skyrim where there's this guy who keeps stealing my dragon souls. Like whenever I kill a dragon, he just pops up and like steals my dragon soul. Yeah. And I just got really fed up of it because you can't kill him yet. Like you need to get more dragon souls before you can kill him or something. And I just like rage quit. Like, I have, like, no patience.
It's like you with your reply guys now.
Yeah.
Like, fuck this guy, block.
Yeah, just immediately block.
I mean, I think, like, Twitter is gamified to a point. Like, it's like, it does feel like a game that you play.
But I think I did have, like, I actually never played video games as a kid. Like, I didn't have, like, a games console or anything. But, like, I think I saw everything kind of in those terms.
Right.
And, like, yeah, it's taken me a long time to understand, like, reality. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like growing up...
I kind of don't.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Yeah, I don't think I ever saw it like that, but sometimes you do, like, have an interaction with someone, and then you feel like the negative signs above both of your heads. Yeah. And you're like, okay, that did not go well. Like, I just won't interact with them again. But yeah, no, I think we've done well. I think... definitely admirable for two women to record a podcast. We were saying like we didn't record last week because you had PMS. Yeah. Didn't record yesterday because I was hungover. I'm PMSing today, so I'm like a bit down.
Because I was having boy trouble.
Yeah, boy trouble. It's like we need to sync our cycles. Yeah. It's actually like pretty. Like I feel like one person has to be the man in the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I just like don't have any brain activity when I'm like in my luteal phase.
Like, the brain activity you have is like evil. It's like your brain trying to kill you.
Yeah, I think eating like 30 oysters helped.
Yes, yeah.
I think I was just maybe like really iron deficient. Yeah. I feel better now.
We did have a very authentic French experience where the waiter, when you said 30 oysters.
Yeah. And I'm like, 30 oysters, please, nothing else. This guy just stares at us. And he was it's like £1 oyster hour.
He was like 30. Yeah. And you're like, yeah. And he was like, okay. And like walks off. And then when he brought the oysters, the table next to us were like literally pissing themselves laughing. Yeah. Like they're just laughing at us, like getting the oysters.
I'm so glad we did that though. I've always wanted like that many oysters. Yeah. Like enough oysters to satisfy me. Because usually I get like 12 or something. And then I'm like, I want more oysters.
Right. Like I could have done, because I think we were going to do a split where you did like 20 and I did 10. Yeah. And then like, I think I had 14. Like in the end, I think you just had like one 16, of mine. Yeah.
And but I was like, I've had enough oysters. Yeah. Like not too many, but I no longer feel like I need more oysters.
Yeah. And I felt like not that we were competing with a table next to us, but I was like, there's no way we're not going to finish those oysters. Like after they just fucking laughed. Yeah. Like so much. But also, it's a tiny amount of oyster and it just looks like a lot. It's not like, we should make a like oyster shake.
What?
Like just burping my cider. Like drunk off my face, like business idea. Make an oyster shake?
No, why would you do that?
They make raw eggs in a shake.
Yeah, but that's like everything good about oysters you're getting rid of.
No. Like you get all the oysters,
Yeah.
and you just put them into one cup, and then you like maybe mix it with a bit of
bad.
Tabasco.
No, the act of eating the oyster is an essential part of the oyster experience.
It's a very grounding experience because you're putting like shell into your mouth. Sometimes you take in some shell.
You're talking like an effective altruist now. Like, need to optimize oysters.
Start an account. The raw oyster nationalist. And then I get sick and die.
Yeah.
I did think after we had the oyster
poisoning.
Immediately the account's got like 50 followers because I've died immediately.
Yeah.
No, after because we went from the oysters right to a party that's on a boat.
Yeah.
And like I had like 2 drinks on there.
Yeah.
But the next day I wasn't actually that hungover. I was just like really tired and I just had a sickness in me.
Yeah.
That I was just like, I don't think eating 15 oysters and then going on a moving object for 4 or 5 hours is really helping me.
Yeah.
But
I think oysters are sexy because of the risk, right? Because like you could die. You could get like the worst food poisoning of your life. Like all the sexiest foods are like things that could potentially poison you.
Yeah, what's the
like beef tartare? Or
it could poison you technically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like one time I had bone marrow. I had like so much bone marrow. It was in France, and I just like immediately threw up. Because it was like too rich.
Well, didn't you have like some unhomogenized milk or something?
Yeah, that was like the estate dairy, which I now hate. I've had it again since, and it was like the same thing. It's not even that it's bad. I think it's just like it tastes bad. It's like apparently it's when the cows have mastitis or something, and it gives it like this weird like sour taste.
A lot of it's like diet stuff. Like
it's not even raw though. It's like unhomogenized.
Okay.
And you get it from those expensive shops. Like, they have it in expensive coffee shops.
Right.
But
and it just feels...
I no longer trust that.
I mean, I have, like, with a lot of appeasing stuff, or, like, a lot of... I didn't know the appeasing stuff kind of tied into, like, tanning. A lot of tanning stuff. Like, and I'm just too, like, I don't know, modern science-minded, but I just feel like...
they think SPF gives you cancer.
Yeah, which I'm pretty sure has... Like, there's a lot of scientific basis to show that it doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, Solbra doesn't believe in cancer at all.
I mean, I think some people are just genetically predisposed to cancer, and you can do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, I mean, I believe in cancer.
I believe in the country that cancer used to be. I fall asleep in the tumor flag.
Okay, we need to end this podcast now.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to Foidcast. Like and subscribe. Leave us some nice comments to balance out the offensive ones. Accusing me of sexual relations with Bovril, which I have not had. Just to dispel that rumor. I love the power that Bovril has. Like, even the party we went to, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, who's Bovril? When's is Bovril gonna go?" It's like, no, I have not met Bovril. I've not given Bovril a nosh. Oh yeah, you were in a group chat just like, what's the nosh? And like no one would respond. I thought it was food. I thought. Oh, like bosh? No, I swear that's a word for food. Yeah, it is. It actually is. I think it is. Like some good nosh. Yeah. I didn't know it had another connotation. Yeah, I guess in a way, nosh is a type of eating. Yeah, succulent eagle meal. What's the crime? Succulent eagle. Okay. Yeah. Thanks very much for listening, everyone. Goodbye. See you on the next one.